Hi, Kyle from Interfidelity here. Today we're going to talk about a very interesting new headphone, AKG's new flagship headphone, the AKG K812. This is a rather expensive headphone. It's going to be selling for about $1,500. It is intended for audio professionals. It's an open headphone, so it's really for use in mastering and editing and in places where you're not going to have a lot of outside noise to disturb you. This is a fully circumaural headphone, goes all the way around the ear. It is very nicely built. It has two metal bands that are covered by a slightly rubbery material, but it's very, very nice and very durable material. The headband pad is a mesh construction that is very airy and won't create a lot of heat on top of your head, but it's quite comfortable. Unlike AKG headphones of the past that had little rubber bands and were auto-adjusting, this headphone has some ratchets in here that make the adjustment for the headphones. So it's quite positive. It's not easy to adjust while it's on your head because these sliders are pretty sticky. But once they're set, they are very, very secure and remain set. So you can feel very secure with these headphones on once they're adjusted properly. The ear pads are quite unusual. They are removable. There is this flap part here where it says sound sealing, and it has some space behind it. In fact, there's a little space behind it all the way around. The narrowest part of the pad is the opening itself. This part of the pad goes below the ear and behind it, and as you can see, it does a really nice job of sealing in this rather uneven area between the jawbone and the neck and the skull. And it works very, very well. This is a protein leather headband or covering with a memory foam inside. The headphones are quite light, so they are very, very comfortable to wear for extended periods of time. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get this on easily. There we go. Wasn't too bad. These have a rather large driver. It's a 53 millimeter driver. Most headphones on the average are about 40 millimeter drivers. There are some that are bigger, but this one's 53 millimeter, which is fairly large. Has a very powerful magnet. AKG claims 1.5 Teslas, which is a measure of magnetic flux density. So it's rather unusual in that regard. The sound of these headphones is, I'll do the cable here. It is a single-sided entry cable, and it uses a LEMO connector, FGG.00.303. It's a very small connector and only has 3 pins, which means that you can't make a balanced cable for this headphone as it is. There are inserts for these connectors that have 4 conductors, room for 4 pins in it. So it's possible, but likely very, very difficult to modify. So this is pretty much a single-ended or unbalanced headphone only. The cable's fairly long. It's about a 3-meter cable. It's terminated in a mini plug with a screw-on adapter. And it feels a little cheap, but I don't know that it really is cheap, but it feels a little cheap. It's sort of the most unattractive part of the headphone. Other than that, they're pretty nice. I'll put these on so you can take a look at the headphones while they're on. Again, very comfortable and very open sounding, or very open to the outside, rather like the Sennheiser HD800, where there's virtually no attenuation from outside sound. The sound quality of these headphones is a bit of a mixed bag. The good news is that they are a very musical sounding headphone. The Sennheiser HD800 is a rather analytical sounding headphone, and not very warm. It's a little cold sounding. These headphones are quite a bit warmer than the measurements would indicate, anyway, relative to the HD800s. But they do sound warmer and sound quite a bit more musical. Bass extension is fairly good. Not as good as a planar magnetic headphone, but fairly good. It may be a little bass shy based on the recent Harman target response curves, but fundamentally they sound very well balanced in the bass and mids, and do a great job of portraying the whole of the music. Very, very nice in that regard. Unfortunately, they have some problems in the treble in terms of having a clean impulse response. A HD800 has a very nice clean impulse response, and the impulse response on these headphones is quite ragged. It looks like there's some modal breakup or something going on with the drivers. Maybe the very powerful magnets are too powerful and they're overdriving the diaphragm. I don't know, but the highs can be quite strident and harsh and somewhat confused sounding if you're playing music that will tend to do that. So these headphones will tend, when the music gets hard, to over exaggerate that. And as a result, I find that they don't have nearly the precise resolving power in the treble that the Sennheiser HD800 has. So even though they're nicely balanced, they are not the audio microscope that the Sennheiser HD800 is. And that's too bad, because other than that, they do a really fine job with the music. Sadly, that's the type of thing that this type of headphone should do well, and unfortunately doesn't. And at $1,500, I'm afraid I can't recommend these for audio professionals, because they're just too ragged up on the treble. And it's a sad thing, because AKG obviously spent a lot of time with these headphones. There's some really innovative stuff going on. It's a very new design pretty much across the board here, but they just miss it in the treble. So close, and yet so far away, I'm sad to say. Anyway, I hope you get a chance to hear them, because in a lot of ways they are a terrific headphone. And if you listen to a lot of small ensemble acoustic music, then maybe they'd be just fine for you. But if you got anything energetic at all, it's going to be a bit ear-piercing. Oh well. See you next time.